Hello, my name is Jeanette Jacobo, and I'll be talking about differentiated classroom instruction. Just to give an introduction, many teachers use the principles of differentiated instruction to help address the needs of diverse learners in the classroom. Differentiated instruction can be described as classroom practice with a balanced emphasis on individual needs and course content. In a differentiated classroom, teachers must effectively teach students with various backgrounds, readiness skills, and interests. The purpose for differentiated teaching and practice is to increase the quality and quantity of instruction to ensure effective support for learning. Some background on differentiated instruction. It was first proposed as a teaching practice by Thomason. It was seen as a change of teaching that corresponds to differences of mixed ability classrooms, such as student readiness, interests, and learning styles. Differentiated instruction is mainly based on the theory of Vygotsky, social cultural theory, so emphasizing the active interaction relationship between a student and their teacher. So why is differentiated instruction so important? Well, I believe differentiated instruction is a valid contemporary focus because of the increase of diversity seen in all classrooms. Teaching must be responsive to the changing dynamics in the classroom. It is no longer a one-size-fits-all model. So this is one of the big reasons why I think differentiated instruction is such an important topic. In education, differentiated instruction really is the teacher's responsibility to respond to a learner's need or a group of students' need. And again, the goal of differentiation is to maximize student growth and success. And with today, many schools and teachers look for ways to bring students to meet grade level standards or learn specific academic content areas. So I believe differentiated instruction will support teachers and schools to help bring these students being able to meet grade level standards, as well as addressing and meeting individual learner needs. There are several misunderstandings of differentiated instruction. So first is just distinguishing it as a learning method versus learning principle. Many teachers are limited if methods are only implemented in the classroom. So this can cause a misunderstanding of what differentiated instruction is and viewing it as a set of strategies, but it really isn't. It should be a way of thinking, set principles. Another misunderstanding is differentiation is something that teachers do or don't do. So most teachers will respond to student differences, but very few will plan instruction to address student readiness, interest, and learning profile. Another misunderstanding is differentiation is only about instruction. So this is not the case. Although it is an instructional approach, there are more elements that are involved in differentiation, such as a positive learning environment, high quality curriculum, flexible classroom management, and assessment. So with differentiated instruction, there are 4 curriculum-related elements: content, process, product, and affect. So content is the understanding of a skill the student must learn. So this is how the students will access content rather than changing the content itself. So this could be like partner reading, working in groups, etc. How are they going to access the content? And then process is how students will understand and make sense of the content. So when thinking about this part, it should really be sense-making activities, allowing students to make sense of the content, being able to retain the content, apply it, and transfer this content into other situations. And then you have your product. The product is basically how the student will demonstrate understanding of the actual content. It could be verbal responses, a portfolio, so any way the student will demonstrate the learning and understanding of it. And then you have the affect. Affect is how students' emotions and feelings are impacted by the learning, such as motivation, ability to work with others, self-perception as a learner. So this is an important piece that sometimes gets overlooked, I believe, the affect piece, because they all, that's truly going to help the student work, and all these 4 curriculum elements go hand in hand and work together. So curriculum elements are often based on student readiness skill, interest, and learning profile. So curriculum elements and student elements go hand in hand. So a student's readiness skill is the current knowledge, understanding, and skill at a given time. To respond to student readiness, teachers have to construct tasks or provide different levels of difficulty. It's important to note that a readiness skill is not a set skill, but it's skill at a given time. So it can change as a learner learns new material. So it's important. It's not a fixed skill. And then you have your student interest, basically what engages the student's attention and involvement, and what helps the student learn, what's the motivation for them. And then also a student's learning profile really has to do of how the student learns. So it's shaped by their learning style. Do they have a preference, intelligence preference, such as like visual learners, so on, as well as their gender and then the culture. They all play into a part of the student's learning profile. And here's just a little visual. So you have the learner relationship, what teachers prepare. So again, they prepare content, process, and product. And then how the students will engage is their readiness skills, their interest levels, and then their learning profile. So differentiation in the classroom. So what can that look like? Well, in every classroom it may vary, depending on what the teacher, how the teacher structured their classroom. So classrooms can vary and look different, but there are some similar characteristics that focus on student learning overall. So the first one is learning environments. So learning environments are important to develop as a teacher because maintaining a learning environment that is positive and inviting will impact the students' affect, and in the end we'll want them to participate and be motivated and feel safe in the classroom. And then number 2, curriculum in the classroom. So this is very important. Has to be organized to support all learners. In differentiated classrooms, teachers carefully plan and organize content and material. So they organize content and material around essential information. So the important information needed to learn in each subject area. And then you have assessment. Assessment is usually diagnostic and ongoing in a differentiated instructed classroom. So these types of assessments will give teachers ongoing data, what is relevant to the current student readiness scale and their interests. And then the data is also going to be able to inform teachers to shape and modify the next lessons to support and encourage student differences and interests. So this is overall the common characteristics of differentiated classrooms. So my final thoughts. So after this assignment and paper and research about differentiated instruction in the classroom, I feel like I gained a new understanding of what it truly means. It's not set skills or strategies, which is a common misconception, but it really is a way of teaching and learning. And it really does consider and advocates for student differences. It really is a philosophy. And with the increase of diversity in our classrooms, I believe district schools and individual teachers should invest their time to gain new information about what differentiated instruction really is and take that and reflect it on their own teaching. That way it'll lead them towards teaching to meet all individual needs. Then here are some references that were listed in my PowerPoint. Well, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed. All right, bye.